Yo, gamer, Nemi here, and today we're talking about my boy Lars, the state of Lars in Tekken 7 Season 4. Is this character any good? Is he still trash, right? Let's talk about it. So for you guys that don't know, Lars is my favorite character. He is my main. Now granted, I do play a lot of characters in this game because I do find it difficult to stick to one character. Like seriously, there are so many cool ass characters in this game. I don't know how people manage to stick to only one. But for those of you that don't know, Lars has been my main since Tekken 6. I did play Lars and Steve as my tag team in Tag 2, my main tag team. So I've played Lars for quite a long time. So now in this video, we're going to talk about how good this character is right now. We're going to take a look at his pros and cons and do a comparison on whether or not he's viable. So let's get right into it. So first of all, let's take a look at Lars' punishment. Lars has one of the best punishment game in Tekken 7. Up there, like he is probably like top 10, maybe top 15, but top 10 in terms of punishment. So for 10 frames, he has 2-1. Granted, not the best 10 frame punisher. Compared to something like Mishima 112 or like Gigas 12, it's not all that, but it's decent enough. 20 damage, but you know, it's a high. 12 frame punisher, we do have forward 2-4. Amazing punisher. This will punish get up kicks. Wasplats knocks down 32 damage. Insane, kind of like Kazuya back 1-2 or Devojin back 1-2. Amazing punisher. For 14 frames, we have the blue bolt, forward back 2-1. This used to be his bound back in Tekken Tag 2, Tekken 6, right? Still bounds and now, but now it's like it does a shitload of damage. Amazing launch 14 frame punisher. So you do this for like jack down forward 2, you know, things like that. 15 frames, they have the classic arc blast. We have lightning screw. Yeah, lightning screw and arc blast are his like 15 frame punishers go to. Amazing. So in punishment, Lars is definitely up there with the big boys. His punishment game is kind of mad. You should not have any problem with punishment when it comes to Lars. And I'm talking about like with punishment as well. Down forward 2-4, down forward 2-1 is amazing with punisher. Back 3-4 as well. Long range punisher for stuff like Paw, Death Fist, and Jack. Down forward 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So this is amazing for that. So like I said again, when it comes to punishment, Lars is definitely up there. No problems when it comes to punishment. Secondly, let's take a look at his loads. Lars has one of the best load game in Tekken 7. Not because they are all launch punishable. We'll talk about that as part of his cons, but because most of his lows are unreactable, right? I've got forward 4-3, down back 1-3, full crouch down forward 1+2, down back 4, dynamic entry 2, down 1+2, not that good, but it's still there. Forward 3+4. So when it comes to lows, Lars is one scary motherfucker. Like this this guy has so many good lows. Facing against Lars is bro, like it's crazy, because if you don't block low, you're dead. You don't block low, you don't sidestep, you're dead. But that's neither here nor there. We're gonna talk about it. So punishment 1, lows 2. These are his biggest pros as a character in Tekken 7. Thirdly, the range. Lars is strong at all ranges. At every range, this character is good. He wasn't really good at the point blank range, right? Because his tracking is bad and he has no counter hit 2s. But alas, they buffed his 1-1-1. Now, hit confirmable counter hit move. Very awesome move against characters like Hwarang, right? Negan, characters that are very poor high crash. This move is insane. Or like high crashing moves, this move is insane. So 0 range, he's amazing. His jab game is good, decent range, right? A range 2 or range 1 here, he's got down back 4, he's got arc blast, down forward 2, down back to 1, right? So at this range, he's good as well. Range 2, he has forward 1+2, he has back 3, right? DE to CE mix-ups, he can cover space easily. This goes for max range as well. Easily covers space, puts you in a mix-up, especially strong as Oki, from Oki. So like after I knock down, go for the mix-up, right? So on all ranges, Lars is amazing. So in my opinion, these are the biggest pros this character has. 1, punishment. 2, the laws. And 3, the range. Okay, we can add mids this section. Let's talk. Okay, let's add a fourth pro, which is a strong mids. So think of Lars kind of like Heihachi, right? Heihachi has very risky laws, but insane mids. While you can make the argument that Lars' mids are better than Heihachi's mids, but now Heihachi has very strong mids, but Lars' mids shouldn't be slept on, right? He has down back 2-1, which is a very good check. He has forward 3+4, like I said, down 2, which is now 0 on block, was buffed. He has an orbital, pretty slow but still good. Forward dynamic entry 2, nice good counter hit Fisher. So in terms of mids, Lars does not slack. Very, very strong mids. That's actually one of the reasons I love this character. Like, I hate using characters that have like down forward 1 only for a strong mid. I really don't like that stuff. So I love having good mids. Just check the opponent, right? Put them in pressure. That's what I love, and Lars is no slack when it comes to that. So these are Lars' 4 biggest pros: his strong punishment, his very strong laws, his mids, and his range. So now let's talk about his cons. Firstly, which is the more obvious con, is his risk. Lars' laws are all launch punishable. His biggest laws are very launch punishable. Forward 4-3, launch punishable. Forward 3+4, launch punishable. Down back 1-3. Of course, you don't have to finish the whole string, but if blocked, this will be launched. Down back 4, this will be launched. So as you can see, very, very risky character. Lars is generally a very easy character to play, but due to this fact of him having a very risky low game, you must be smart on how you use your laws. That's just how it is with this character. In my opinion, that's what makes him like technical in some sense, because you have to be smart on how you use this character. And not just that, it's not that they're easily, like his laws are just risky because they can be blocked. They're risky because they can be easily sidestepped as well. Which brings us to the second con. Lars' tracking is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. For homing move, he only has back 1, which is alright. It's not all that. Think of it like a Kazumi back 2. It's exactly that, but it's not all that. It's better than Kazumi back 2 because it knocks down, gives guaranteed forward 1+2 if they move on the floor. Like that. He has while standing 2, which is, this is a homing move. It might not say that it's homing, but this thing pretty much homes like both sides. So just to show you guys, okay, you see that it tracks the left side as well. You see that, so it counts as a homing move, which is actually better than back 1 in my opinion, because you can go for like side entry mix-ups. He has also 1-2, which can be buffered. Sorry, the second hit launches on counter hit, so it's a good homing move in some sense. He also has buff 1+2, but this is not used due to it being -10, so being jab punishable. So as you can see, Lars is homing, or his tracking is pretty bad. So let's show you guys. You can step all of his silent entry mix-ups as well. Okay, so let's track to the left side, right? So that's a low, that's a mid, that's a mid. So you can see, you can track all of his silent entry mix-ups. And this is one thing I really haven't understood why, because you should have a homing move, at least one homing move in a stance. Almost every character that has a stance mix-up has a homing move. Like Steve Peekaboo has a homing move. We have Zafina, Mantis has a homing move. So you know, characters in stance usually have one homing move, but Lars, because it's Lars, was not given shit. So his tracking in silent entry is pretty bad. So be careful, guys. A strong player is going to step all this stuff, right? But that's what makes the game plan with Lars kind of good because you can just buffer stuff, right? You don't really have to go for the mix-ups every time, trying to bait out the side steps and stuff like that. So his homing move is pretty bad, his homing over is pretty bad, and his lows are pretty bad. In my opinion, those lows are his biggest cons. Those are his biggest cons. So the question is, do his cons outweigh the pros? This is where my opinion about this character comes in. So when it comes to tracking, like 60% depends on your read on the opponent. Is the opponent trying to sidestep a lot, right? You have to make the read. If they're stepping a lot, you have to be reluctant with Lars. Try to just watch them, throw out back ones or standing twos, make them stop sidestepping, right? And also laws such as full crouch down forward one have some tracking to them, and down back four as well. So just try to see what the opponent is doing. Are they stepping? Are they being reluctant? Make your decision based off of that. So this is where the game plan comes in. If they're not stepping, bro, like it's low heaven with Lars. Like Lars is low's head. They do so much damage. If your opponent is not stepping or they're not blocking lows, bro, like the game is yours. It's yours. And that's why I think Lars is a very good character. My opinion on Lars is a very strong character, at least above average. Above average. Better than a lot of characters in the game. To prove this, we have seen Nobi play a lot of Lars recently. He picked up Lars and Feng, right? He played Lars recently in the Japanese team tournament, and he did really well. He played Lars against Ni in the Evo sets, the first to 5. Although he lost, that he proved that Lars was viable. We did have, I think, Strog winning Evo Online 2020, 2022, 2021. When COVID hit. So this proves that Lars is really viable. You actually see more Lars than you see characters like Armor King. You see more Lars than you see Devil Jin these days. Very, very strong character. So Lars, in my opinion, is a very, very underrated character, at least above average. Now, I can spend all day talking about how Lars is good, because even his rage got buffed. Like, this does so much damage now. He does so much damage. I missed it. Alright, let's see if I can get this. The recording curse, the TNN curse. Look at that damage. Look at that damage. This rage drive is insane. Very underrated. Very underrated. Even just from the wall, you can still get the damage from that. So very underrated character. The rage drive is insane. You can mix it up with like cancels into arc blast or just go mid at the wall, bro. Like I can spend all day talking about Lars. His war carry as well, one of the, if not the best war carry in the game. This character will carry you from war to war. Like it doesn't matter what stage it is, Lars will get you to the war. He actually has more war carry than what he actually needs in the game. That's how insane his war carry is. So let me not drag this any longer. I just wanted to talk about my boy. I still play Lars. I'm excited to play Lars in Tekken 8, see what things he gets. But overall, Lars is a very underrated character, guys. If you play Lars, you have no reason to drop him. Like, this character is strong. He's just underused. And I would say that for so many characters in the game. So many characters in this game are just slept on. Because the roster is just, the roster is too huge. And the biggest problem is that there are just better options. That Lars as a character is good. Very, very underrated. So what have I missed? Like, I can just go on and on and on about Lars. Even this counter 8 game is now good. Alright, he has down back 4, he has 1-1-1, he has silent entry, down forward 1, back down 2 knocks down on counter hit. He has 2-1-3, the last hit of 2-1-3. Right, he has back 1-2. So counter games, Lars is no slack. Back 4 as well, 50 damage raw. Very underrated character, guys. Very underrated character. But anyway, I believe I made my point. So I'll be doing more of these videos in the next coming few months. I'm going to take a look at Armor King next, but I want to make a whole format, probably looking at all the characters in the game. So stay tuned for that. So anyway, if you've made it this far, guys, please do consider subscribing. Only 200 subscribers away from making it to the 1K mark. 1000K, here we come. So if you enjoyed my content, please feel free to subscribe, leave a like button, it helps with the algorithm. And yeah, GG my boys, and go play some Lars.